dear students. Welcome to day 4 and part 4 of the rise of nationalism in India. Till now, we have studied about the non-cooperation movement and the civil disobedience movement. In this part and the final part, we will study about the measures of collective belonging. So why delay? Let's begin. We will start where we left off. Women, Muslims, Dalits, and civil disobedience movement. Let's start with women. Why did the participation of women in large numbers in movement did not bring any radical change in the position of Indian women, right? You saw where women participated in a large number. Still, their status hasn't changed. Why? Gandhiji was convinced that it was the duty of women to look after the home, the earth, and be good mothers and good wives. Basically, nobody believed that a woman should be representing politically. Gandhiji, look at his belief. He believed that it's the duty of women to look after the home. Earth is oven. And what is their duty? To be good mothers and good wives. And after for a long time, the Congress was not willing to allow any women to hold the position of authority within the organization. So he did not want any women to be the president of the Indian National Congress, right? Chairman of the Indian National Congress. So this might be the reason why the participation of women in large numbers in non-cooperation and the civil disobedience did not bring any radical change in the position of Indian women. Now what about Dalits? Now, Gandhiji was against untouchability. He said that Swaraj would not come for 100 years if untouchability was not abolished. He is of that belief. He called the untouchables as Harijans or sons of gods, Harijan. He organized Satyagraha to get into temple entry, access to public wells, tanks, roads, schools for Dalits. Remember the stories of Ambedkar. We'll tell you more about the oppression, the exploitation that the Dalits suffered in the hands of the upper caste people. He cleaned Harijan colonies. In his ashram, there was no caste feelings. He cleaned Harijan colonies because Harijan colonies were obviously found, lack of sanitation was found there. So he went there, he cleaned himself. So you can get a clue from here. That's what the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan comes from, right? He asked the upper caste Hindus to give up the inhuman practice of untouchability. He told his fellow upper caste people, and he appealed to other people to abandon, to give up the, the idea of practicing untouchability. Now, you know that the word Dalit is being erased, omitted from the constitution. They are called the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe, whereas Gandhiji called them as Harijan and Girijan. Gandhiji versus Ambedkar. Now, this is a very hot topic. Both of them are equally important. Both of them had their own way. Dr. Ambedkar, known as the father of Indian Constitution, demanded separate electorates for the Dalits. Right? He thought that a share in political power would help in their upliftment. Gandhiji opposed the separate electorate idea. He thought it would create disunity. Why, if today Dalits were given the separate electorate, tomorrow Muslims will ask, then the Sikhs will ask. So it would disintegrate India. That's what Gandhiji thought. So they clashed in the second roundtable conference. And obviously, Gandhiji was not happy with the demand of Ambedkar. So he went on to a hunger strike till death. And it was Ambedkar who had to step in to stop the hunger strike. Thus, the Pune Pact happened. It was signed between Gandhiji and Ambedkar in September 1932, bringing